Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome back to my channel, Rising with Rachel. I am Rachel, and together we rise and talking about all things cosmic and consciousness. Today, I want to talk to you about taking accountability for your energy, your vibration, your frequency, and also how that ties in with your manifestations directly. Now, this is going to be a hard pill to swallow, but stick with me here because I promise in the end, it'll all make sense and you'll leave this video feeling a lot more peaceful and understanding why you are where you are and also what to do in order to change it so that you can finally make that timeline switch and embody your highest self and live the life that you know is your birthright, that you were born here to live. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as it really does help the silly little human algorithm. As much as I don't want to be a part of that, I do want to be a part of raising the collective consciousness of the planet at this really crucial time in human history where we are seeing a mass spiritual awakening like never before, because we are creating the heaven on earth that we know is our birthright. So thank you for being here with me, and please help my little human algorithm. So let's get right into it, shall we? You are responsible for every single thing, person, place, experience that shows up in your reality. In the universe where you and I both reside, the law of attraction is real. It works exactly like a magnet. If you are vibrating at a frequency of 400 hertz, for example, you are going to attract to you, like a magnet, people, places, experiences, things that are vibrating at that same frequency. People, places, and experiences that are vibrating at that 400 hertz frequency are going to magnetize their way into your reality and stay there for a while. They are going to become your current chapter because there is something within that vibration that you have to work out. Right? Every single thing is a stepping stool to get us to the next chapter of our life. So it's not that we're stuck operating at this 400 hertz, that we're stuck with these people, places, and experiences. The whole purpose of the universe is to constantly expand, and we are made of the universe. So we are no different. We are made to constantly expand. So we are not meant to stay stuck at that 400 hertz. We are meant to vibrate higher. We are made to learn the lessons of what it means to be vibrating at 400 hertz and take the lessons and gems of the people, places, and things and experiences that are also vibrating at that similar frequency, so we can bring those wisdoms forward with us as a tool into our next chapter. So some easy examples might be your job and your relationship. They are both energetic matches to your personal frequency. The vibration that you are currently residing at in this now moment is a vibrational match to that of your relationship or job. And that might be a hard pill to swallow when one of those things, maybe both of those things, is something that you don't necessarily love. That's when this awareness starts to get tricky. It's in the lower vibrational situations that we as humans have a hard time taking any accountability, especially in situations where something is done to us and we are quite literally a victim. But the truth is, the story is still the same. We are a vibrational match to whatever is showing up in our experience right now. Otherwise, those things would not be in our field. They would not be in our reality, because we would either be below them and dealing with worse or above them and dealing with better. This awareness is something that absolutely revolutionized my life, because it was like a key that was passed down to me from my higher self that allowed me to unlock a door within me to free myself. Because, hear me out now, I learned this awareness when I was literally a victim, when I was in a situation where something was inflicted to me, somebody's actions caused something in my life, and I was not in control. So I am able to say this to you because I have been in this situation where this awareness definitely would not have worked by anyone's means, but it was quite literally the thing that freed me from my situation, because I was able to say, right, in a situation where something was not my fault and out of my control, I said, what about me is allowing this situation, even though it wasn't permitted, even though it wasn't just, it wasn't fair, it wasn't right, but what about me? Because we need to stop focusing on the external anyway, right? The universe is a reflection of our well-being, a reflection of our vibration, a reflection of our thoughts, belief systems, actions, choices, decisions. The universe is always showing us to us through people and experiences. And as humans, when we are moving through the ego or sat in the logical brain, we are really just pointing fingers at other people. We're pointing fingers at circumstances and other outside factors. We're pointing fingers at our external reality instead of realizing that our reality is a mirror and trying to show us something about ourselves. So in a situation where I realized this person was not changing, nothing about the situation that I could do was changing it, what can I change change about myself that maybe, just maybe, this situation will alchemize. And I realized that there was an energy within me that was vibrating at a similar frequency to this person. It wasn't by any means in the same ways that this person carried this frequency out, but the universe doesn't care about specifics. It was still that bigger picture energy that was existing within me that attracted this situation to me. And the truth is, there were a bunch of little experiences with this person where I had the opportunity to see through the actions that happened and do this evaluation and do those reflections, but I didn't. So those situations got louder and that person got worse till it was so undeniably in my face that it was something with me. The universe had to crank up the volume because I kept putting in earphones and refused to hear the music. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, and trigger warning, but I learned this in an abusive relationship. And not to sound like I have Stockholm syndrome or anything, because I definitely take no accountability for that situation. Like I said, I was quite literally a victim where someone's actions directly affected me and were way beyond my control. But I realized what I had in control was the way that I showed up and my own awarenesses, and that I can still look at myself through the situation and say, what about me could have possibly attracted this? Because again, I didn't deserve it. It wasn't right. It wasn't fair. No vibration within me said, do these things to me, right? But I realized that there were vibrations within myself where I was abusive towards myself. I was abusive towards myself in the ways that I was treating my body, in the ways that I was spending my money, in the ways that I neglected my feelings, in the ways that I just mistreated myself in general, of not feeling worthy enough, or beating myself up if I didn't feel pretty enough one day, or not feeling smart enough if I was in a classroom of people that just sounded more intelligent than me. For years of my life, I was abusive towards myself, and that played out physically and literally in front of me because I had to see that I was doing it to me. That was me. If everybody in the universe is a reflection of us, the person that was abusive towards me was being abusive towards me because I'm abusive towards me, right? And this is where duality exists and multidimensionality exists. So at the same time, I understand that this person has their own karmas, and that as much as I'm saying all of this is true, it's also way more complicated than that. And this is not a green flag for any lower vibrational experiences or abusive situations. It's not by any means a permission slip. It was me trying to figure out how to free myself. And I freed myself through this awareness. And that's why I come forth to share it with you. Because when I started taking accountability for the ways that I was abusive towards myself, I noticed me gaining the confidence in being able to stand up to myself, to the person that was then abusive towards me, towards treating myself better and not answering the 20,000 phone calls or the mean text messages, or refusing to deal with the little petty arguments, because I was piece by piece putting together my self-worth and realizing that I was more valuable than that. And once I started not being abusive towards myself, I started not taking the abuse from other people and calling it love. And also, of course, these were things that I had to tie back to childhood as well, because everything is connected, right? Like I started being abusive towards myself because I was bullied as a kid, and because I have gone through things in childhood that made me feel not worthy. And that's a story that repeated within my belief system, literally needing to manifest into my reality to show me that it's not real. Because when faced with those lower vibrational experiences, I said, I know I'm worth more than this. But when I realized that my energy was the cause of it, I was able to change it. Like the stories presented themselves so that I can rewrite them. I could change the script. It wasn't me taking accountability for somebody's behavior or their actions or feeling like I deserved those things because of the ways that I have been. Again, duality exists, so does multidimensionality. So this is complicated. It was me just saying, okay, even though that has nothing to do with me and has everything to do with the other person, it also does have something to do with me because it showed up in my reality just as much as it showed up in this other person's. Like, why didn't it happen with this person's previous partner? It happened with me. And that in itself is proof that we both had something to work on. But again, I'm not worried about the other person. I'm worried about me and taking accountability for my own energy. Another way this awareness really set in for me, honestly, again, is through realizing that by being a people pleaser, was actually being extremely manipulative. And because of that underlying manipulative energy, I had attracted to me a straight up liar, like a straight up manipulative person, has never told the truth a day in his life. I don't even know if his middle name is his middle name. Okay, Clinton Kane. If you know, you know. But again, in that example, the universe doesn't care about specifics. The universe wasn't going to reflect back to me a people pleaser, because I would not have come to the awareness that the underlying energy was manipulation through the lens of a people pleaser. To be honest, if another people pleaser came towards me, I probably would have saw that as a weakness and then been able to see the weakness in myself that comes through people pleasing. But after some introspection, that's not what the universe was showing me, because weakness energy isn't something that was residing within me personally, whereas it might show up more for someone else. What was showing up for me individually in that experience was that I was carrying a manipulative energy, and I was manipulating through people pleasing, which also sounds confusing, but hear me out on this one too. When you are people pleasing, you are constantly operating so that other people's perception of you is good, so that people don't abandon you, so that people think highly of you. You are trying to manipulate their thoughts and experiences and feelings and opinions about you. And that is manipulative, as opposed to saying no if you don't want to go to the party or the bar with your coworkers after work, and just dealing with whatever people say and think after that, or not, as you shouldn't, because that's none of your business anyway. When you are people pleasing, you care about that because you care about your self-image, because it is curated through other people's thoughts, beliefs, and ideas about you, instead of being so confident within yourself and really knowing who you are. Those people-pleasing tendencies come from a place of lack, so therefore you try to manipulate the situation to seem better. So the universe was showing me through somebody that was an extreme liar that I was being manipulative through being manipulated. You know, in kindergarten, when they tell you don't point at people because when you point, you have 3 fingers pointing back, that's exactly what's going on. The only way you can notice things in other people or experiences, jobs, whatever, is because that energy exists within you. And instead of focusing on the external of making it everybody else's fault and making it your job's fault or your external situation's fault, you need to realize, and I'm not saying it's your fault, but it is your responsibility. It is a direct reflection of something that is existing within your vibrational field. It does not have to be exact, but it is there. And I want you to sit with that, honestly, and pay attention to your ego right now. Are you quick to dismiss the message? Because that's a message. That's your ego trying to shed itself of any responsibility for the bad things that happen to you and keep you comfortable in a victim mindset, right? Like I just said, even when you are a victim, you are not a victim. Again, the things are not the same. That is a very multi-layered, multi-dimensional sentence. And I get that it could ruffle some feathers. It ruffled my feathers a lot while I was coming to this awareness, because again, I was in the trenches trying to figure out, okay, I don't get it. I don't get it. There's no other reason. If I believe that the universe always wants to provide for me, that I am a child of source energy that is here to live out my birthright of abundance and to create massive change on the world, how could I be going through this situation? How could I be being treated like this? And it's when I had no other place to turn and nothing else to believe in, I just started saying, hey, maybe this could be true. And the more I sat with it and the more I thought about it and the more I started applying this awareness to little pieces of my life and really investigating and sitting with myself and peeling back the layers of what everything at the time of my life was meaning and what was going on behind the scenes energetically, whether it was actions or words from me or the other person or the situation in general, I started putting all the pieces together and it started coming to me what I was responsible for and the ways that I had been showing up in my past and how they manifested as my current experience, not deserved, not right, not just, but I understood why the universe needed to crank up the volume on certain energies and themes so that I could get the message. The universe was never trying to punish me. The universe was literally trying to give me my wings, was trying to give me the tools that I needed to carry me into the next chapter. But I couldn't figure out how to be the creator of my own reality if I didn't understand that it had everything to do with me curating my vibration, with curating my frequency by focusing on myself, that everything in my external realm had everything to do with me just as much as it didn't. Now, this is where we strike gold because we're going to talk about how our manifestations are directly connected to us taking accountability for our energy, because taking accountability for our energy means that we understand we have to consciously craft our vibration and our frequency, and our vibration and frequency, because of the law of attraction, is what brings in our manifestations. Every single moment that you are experiencing is a manifestation. because time is linear, where we live on planet Earth in this 3D matrix, we experience time way slower than it actually exists. Time is not linear. Past, present, and future are all happening at the same time. Now, when you put these stories together, that time is not linear, past, present, and future are happening at the same time, but also we live on planet Earth where time is linear. What this means is that at our core, in our energetic being, the truth of who we are, our soul, our spirit, we are able through our hearts, through our third eye and other clairvoyant senses, through our feelings, to connect to all other aspects of ourself. We are able to connect and tap into the multidimensional aspects of ourself, past, future, and also obviously right now. Our physical human bodies, that is what exists within the time-space continuum. So that is why things like aging is a linear process. We have day by day, year after year, time goes on and we get older gradually. Time is linear here. So although our physical bodies are bound by the time-space continuum, our soul, our spirit is not. And we are not just one of those two things right here, right now. We are both. We are both soul and physical body in this moment. We are not just spirit, or you wouldn't be here right now. And we are not just body, or you wouldn't be conscious. So what this means in terms of manifestations is that every single now moment is a manifestation of a prior thought, feeling, experience, decision, what have you. The reason that you are late to work is because 5 hours ago, you made the decision to scroll on TikTok instead of getting ready. So you being late is a direct manifestation of a prior decision, thought, feeling. Maybe you were feeling tired, so you made the decision to stay on TikTok, which manifested as you being late for work. This applies to everything in your life, both small and large. The experiences that you are going through right now are manifestations of your belief systems that you've been carrying, the thoughts you've continued to think, the feeling and emotional cycles that you have been stuck in. Our manifestations actually happen instantaneously, but because we are physically bound by a time-space continuum, you can think about it almost like a funnel, right? The second that we make a decision, that we take an action, that we choose to feel a feeling, whatever it is, we rocket launch this energy into the ethers that then has to funnel down into our reality, into our physical 3D matrix that we live in. So it takes a linear time to show up. Sometimes the manifestations are instantaneous and they happen relatively fast, but a lot of the times they don't. But regardless of when they show up in our physical reality, it's important for us to remember that we are multidimensional. The universe is multidimensional. So every single moment that you are experiencing is manifesting your next experience, which is why it's so important to be present in the now, to be able to consciously curate your vibration and your frequency. Because when you focus on feeling better and you focus on just being better right here, right now, you attract better people, places, and situations that you don't even know are on their way to you. Because again, you just rocket launch that energy up into the funnel, but it has to be funneled down into this reality. It has to take some earthly time. And when you start working through your blockages and your belief systems and really facing your shadow work, the manifestations will get more instantaneous, because you will realize after this veil is lifted how much of the creator of your reality that you are. When you start taking accountability for your energy, for your vibration, for your frequency, when you start paying attention to the experiences in your life and the people showing up and really taking the lessons and reflecting everything back onto yourself to learn about yourself, what you need to in order to tweak it, to change it, to unclog the pipes, to open yourself up and allow yourself to be a container to receive more that the universe has to offer, that's when you'll notice not only do your manifestations actually start happening, but they start happening a lot faster, maybe even instantaneously. But also, for the most part, you're not really dealing with density or resistance anymore, because you're getting closer and closer to the truth of who you are by being honest with yourself and facing what it is that the universe is trying to show you through your external experiences is still residing within you. The more you deny that you are in anything that you are experiencing in your external reality, the more you are running away from yourself, and the more that these situations are going to play out, and these people are going to show up, and they'll show up again with different faces, and that job that you hated so much will show up again through a different job that you think you love for the first 2 months just to be the same. Everything will recycle until you wake up to the fact that this all has to do with you. All roads lead to Rome, lead to home, lead to you. all the roads lead to you, your vibration, and your frequency. The truth and essence of who you are is more energy than it is flesh and bone. It's more vibration than human being. And that energy, the vibration that you are, is your point of attraction to the universe. It is the signal that is always being responded to. You could think about energy, vibration, and reality like a radio station. Let's say your dream life exists at 97.1 FM. In order to get to that channel, you have to change the radio station, therefore changing the frequency of the sound waves so that you can receive the messages that come through on the 97.1 channel. Your personal energy, your frequency is that handle that you need to switch. It's the energy that you need to change in order to reach the 97.1. If you are thinking certain thoughts and feeling certain emotions and are carrying certain belief systems that are keeping you operating at 72.3 FM, you need to be the one that actively looks at yourself and makes the changes that it takes in order to change yourself to the 97.1 FM radio channel. In the same way you turn the radio dial and you see the notches change to get to the different station, what notches do you need to turn in order to turn them over to get to that radio station you desire? And those changes that you make to more consciously curate your vibration, they are in your control because you are the creator. Therefore, tie together all of my points that you are the creator of your reality. You are the creator of your vibration, which because of the law of attraction brings to you certain people, places, and situations that are of the same frequency. So if you want to live in a different reality, if you want to manifest a different life, a different job, a different relationship, better friends, more money, whatever it is, you need to focus on you and curating your frequency, doing the work that it takes to embody that creator energy in order to remember that you are the one that decides how you show up. You are the one that gets to decide what vibration you offer to the universe, even if external situations are hard, even if you are the victim in situations, you get to control how you respond. You get to control how you investigate, how you make this something that helps you propel yourself towards your purpose instead of further away from the truth of who you are and what you were born here to be, do, and accomplish. When you change your mind, you change your life. It is through awareness that we find alignment. It is through this perspective shift of taking accountability for your energy, for your vibration, and the things that are showing up in your reality that you alchemize everything in your experience, not only into the next chapter and onto greater heights, but also resonate with the feeling that you are indeed the creator and not the created. Thank you so much for tuning in and keeping an open mind. I know that this topic was definitely going to be a hard one to discuss because I knew it might ruffle some feathers, but this is again something that I share from personal experience that has literally liberated me in shackles that I never thought I would be free from. And it took a lot of honesty with myself. Learned this in situations where it should not have been possible to think them, yet they were the keys that very much released me from where I was. Please know I shared what I've shared today in hopes that you wake up from the illusion that you are keeping yourself under, that you are a victim of anything in this world, that anybody besides you is creating your reality. The sooner you can start being honest with yourself and open and authentic and taking accountability and seeing everything externally as something to do with you, the sooner that you will really step into that creator position and understand how powerful you are and no longer feel like you are just in somebody else's game, because you'll remember that you created the game. You know the answers to get to the next level in this game and that you are your own final boss. I'm honored to be here along with you on this journey. So thank you so much for letting me talk about these really hard concepts with you. I'm not always going to tell you what you want to hear, but I will tell you what you need to hear, because I want to see you live your best life and really step into a position of power and remember who the are. I want you to live the best life and really fulfill your potential. We only have one shot at this. I want to help walk you home. So thank you for being here with me. I love you and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.